All started with a magical opening day walk-off win versus the Angels of Anaheim. Opening day ends in walk-off fashion thanks to Marcus Semien here in the bottom of the 11th inning. In a season of the unexpected, the Green and Gold have beat everyone's expectations. No longer the surprise team in baseball, the A's look to finish the last 2 weeks of the season strong. With the AL West and wildcard implications on the line, every win takes them one step closer to their ultimate goal. Tonight, the playoff push continues. A's and Angels next. Well, it's the final homestand of the year. A's trying to wrap up a postseason berth. They're 4 back in the division behind the Astros. They are the second wild card team right now. They have a 6.5 game lead over the Rays, and they're trying to catch the New York Yankees for that #1 wild card spot. It's an opener night. Liam Hendricks will get the ball for the A's. It's the A's and the Angels coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. It's also San Jose Sharks night at the Coliseum. How about that? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Dallas Braden, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Pretty simple stuff for the rest of the schedule. 2 more weeks left, a magic number of 7 for the Athletics, and 12 games left, 2 at home, or 6 at home, and 6 on the road.
And Kai, what you have to think about is tonight the Oakland A's start out against the Halos here, 3 and then 3 more at the end of the season. The Boston Red Sox actually kick off a 3-game sit against the Pinstripes tonight out there in Boston, and then they finish up with the New York Yankees at the end of the season as well. So right now, a very good time to get a feel for how the end of the season could play out.
That's right. Yankees and Rays still play a 4-game series as well, so a lot of scoreboard watching going on. Disappointing season for the Angels. They're 74 and 76, but they're very much worth watching thanks to 2 guys named Trout and Ohtani.
Yeah, they've got some absolute beasts in that lineup. Over the last 2 weeks, Kai, Ohtani slugging .841, Trout just a ho-hum .818. That's good for 1 and 2 respectively in baseball. So you want to talk about appointment television? Showtime, as they say, Kite.
And you know what? We're looking forward to seeing it. They went back-to-back for the first time last week. Trout and Ohtani, they are the story for the Angels so far this year. So an AL West showdown here between the A's and the Angels. We'll have lineups at first pitch when we come back to the Coliseum.
designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
All right, here come the Athletics' final homestand of the regular season. And, well, we think it could be fun. Just saying. Game Time Weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's cool, 60 degrees. In fact, we felt it cool off in about the last 45 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit of a chilly evening here at the Coliseum. And the Angels are in town. A's and Angels will play 6 more times before the end of the season. Let's take a look at that Angels lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Cole Calhoun will lead it off. Jose Fernandez will bat second. Then it's Trout, Upton, and Shohei Ohtani in the middle. Ohtani is hot, 5 home runs in his last 14 games. And then it's Simmons, Ward, Cowart, and Urshano.
Taking on the opener, Liam Hendriks, making his 6th appearance in such a role. Has done quite well, in all honesty, Kipe. You think about the first time out, 1 2/3 innings, a little bit of a learning experience for everybody involved. Since then has gone just 1 inning, but a 3.18 ERA in those starts. A's are 2-3 in those 5 ball games. But as I mentioned, sort of a learning curve and a learning experience for everybody.
So here is Cole Calhoun stepping in against the opener, Liam Hendriks. Hendriks kicks and deals the first pitch of the game, and it's a fastball and a swing and a miss.
It's got some intent early. 95 coming hot out of the gate.
So Calhoun, Fernandez, and Trout, the first 3 hitters for the Angels. 214 the average for Cole Calhoun. 19 home runs and 57 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. And now it's 0-2 coming right at him. That's Marvin Hudson. He'll call balls and strikes tonight. He's also going to be the crew chief. James Hoy, Shane Livensparger, and Eric Cooper are the rest of the umpiring crew. There's the shift on against Cole Calhoun. And he got him on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 fastballs, and Calhoun is done. 1 away here in the first. Defensively, the A's have Canna, Laureano, and Piscotti in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson on the infield, and Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
No messing around, Kipe.
Ooh. So Daniel Migden looks like he will be following Liam Hendriks.
And that's kind of what I mentioned when I say a little bit of a learning curve for everybody involved. Migden's typically been the guy that's come in behind the opener, Liam Hendriks. And you can see 1 out. Migden gets cranking. That's sort of.
Canna's there, 2 away.
Sort of how he's been able to really prioritize himself and really get a good routine under himself. I think as they continue to experiment with this and then continue to fiddle around, they can find something that works.
Well, it's interesting. Liam Hendriks, in these 5 starts when he's been the opener, that's what's happened after Liam Hendriks. But when you read Liam Hendriks' numbers as the starter, and again, this is the 6th time he's done it, the last 4, 1 inning, no runs.
Correct.
The only runs he has allowed was the first time he did it, and he allowed those when he went back out there for the 2nd inning.
Exactly.
And he's going to have a very quick and efficient 7-pitch top of the 1st inning for Liam Hendriks. Southwest Airlines. Laureano, Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Piscotty, Olsen, Simeon, Canna, Lucroy. Marcus Simeon has 5 home runs against the Angels this year.
Taking on the lefty Tyler Skaggs, just off the DL. He's had some leg issues. The adductor has kind of hampered him all throughout the season. Spent some time on the disabled list earlier in the year with a left and right adductor strain. But no pun intended, looks to get his foundation underneath him heading into the latter part of the season here and into the offseason.
And he will face Ramon Laureano. So it's adductor, ADD, not ABD.
Correct, adductor.
That's straight from Dr. Braden's office.
WebMDB.
Ramon Laureano hitting .281. He's got 5 home runs. He's got 14 RBIs. Playing in his 38th game. He's got 9 doubles. He's got a triple. On base percentage of .357. And to say that he's brought a jolt of energy to the A's lineup would be an understatement.
Clearly a shot in the arm in every sense of the word.
See Migden getting loose. Defensively behind Skaggs, the Angels have pretty good outfield in Upton, Trout, and Calhoun. On the infield, Ward, Simmons, Coward, and Fernandez. And Jose Briseño is your catcher.
Now right there, that's going to be a pitch that the Oakland A's have to lay off of tonight against Tyler Skaggs. Likes his curveball, likes that fastball up as well. Likes to get guys to chase.
So you see him go down and in. Goes back to try to elevate.
And that's what we'll see a lot tonight of. Fastballs up, followed up by breaking balls down, curveball.
Foul back to the screen. There's an art to this right here.
Oh, it's not easy. You got to get towards the end where the netting meets. That's where the malleability is at its best.
Big curveball. That's a good take by Laureano.
That's a great take. So chase rate on the curveball for Tyler Skaggs out of the zone 36% of the time. For context type league average around 29%.
Fouls that one back. Pitchcast tonight brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
You see there, good velocity early on from the lefty, 94. He'll run it up there, 94, 95 at times. Typically working between 89 to 92, 93. Seen the curveball. He'll sprinkle in a changeup every now and then.
Shakes a couple of times. And it looked like a 3-2 changeup, and he walked it. Good at bat by Laureano to open up the ball game.
That's an incredible at bat. You want to talk about a leadoff hitter, what you're supposed to do? Everything he just did.
C9 pitches. Hey, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch brought to you by Xfinity. It's the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
But I mean, he battled against the heater, spit on some good breaking balls down, 3-2 changeup, spits on that, free pass.
Here's Chapman, and he takes low. Breakdown, pitch usage for Skaggs. Fastball, lots of curves, and a fair amount of changeup. So that's that breaking ball you're talking about.
And you'll see that against the righties. That changeup more so, obviously, than the lefties. Well, time now for the Nissan keys to the game. Number one, don't chase. We just alluded to it. Skaggs likes to work the fastball up out of the zone. Uncle Charlie curveball down off of that. So don't chase and get rispy. And what do I mean by that? Over the last 12 games, the Oakland A's 282 as a team collectively with runners in scoring position. So you get them on, you get them over. We got to get them in. Speaking of that chase, again, they've worked Chapman in early here in this at bat, but up the chance to get that curveball. Laureano doing his best to become a distraction over there.
Laureano generally gets a pretty decent lead, and he's got one here against the lefty. Laureano has 5 steals this year. He's 5 for 5.
And here's an opportunity. You might see some movement. As the lefty's gone over there twice. Typically have a saying 3 times almost never, and it's a good opportunity for Laureano to go first move.
How about this? Next year, spring training. Ramon Laureano, you spend a half hour every day with Ricky Henderson.
I like it.
And you may be stealing 35 bags. He's got enough speed. He's already got an idea on base stealing. Good man.
I mean,
there he goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second base, and he's in there. Stay in the bag. Yes, he did. So Laureano with his 6th steal.
let's hang tight. Make sure Laureano holds the bag. You can see him slide into the backside of the bag. Foot's on, tags on. And there might be 0.02 seconds. And again, this is not what.
There's the jump, and see Laureano, his technique, first step, pretty good. I think that left foot stayed on there the whole time, so they're not going to look at it. And the A's have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the first inning. So 2-2 the count to Matt Chapman. There's that breaking ball, and Chapman takes it.
Well, now it'll be interesting to see how Skaggs decides to handle this 3-2 count with Chapman. Tried the changeup, nobody on base against Laureano. Could try to go up with the fastball.
On deck is Jed Lowry. It's hit to the right side, a one-hopper. Coward has it. And Coward throws to first, so Matt Chapman moves the runner Laureano to third. So a productive out. All right, time now for the Rocket Mortgage Breakdown. Most doubles in a season by switch hitters in A's history. Look at that. Jed Lowry, Jed Lowry, Jed Lowry. Pretty awesome. Again, that's doubles by a switch hitter in A's history.
49 last
49.
year.
Won't quite get there this year, but still a very good number, 36. But he does have the career high 21 home runs. Chance to knock in a run. Pops it up. Shallow left. Simmons out, Upton in. And it's going to be Upton who grabs it, and Laureano will stay. So Jed Lowry cannot get him home. And that's the second out.
You see Jed aggressive early in the count.
Designated hitter, number 2.
Got a fastball up. He feels like he can get to the outfield. Just under it a hair. You can see Laureano is Upton called for the ball. Laureano gets off. just in case that ball might hit the turf.
First pitch to Chris Davis, runs inside. So the Angels not shifting on the infield for Chris Davis. And again, it's always interesting. Some teams do it, some teams don't. Is it a different philosophy organization-wise, or is it the pitcher?
Combination of both.
I always find it funny though. Quick throw to third. That, I mean, one team full shift, next team fairly straight up for Chris Davis. That's on the infield. They're shifted toward right center in the outfield.
Take you back to August. Back down at the Big Hats, the Big A in Anaheim. KD serving up Oppo tacos. Some familiarity.
A little soft line drive into the glove of Cowart. So the A's do not score. They strand a runner at third. No score after one.
The Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
All right, no score. Top of the second between the A's and the Angels. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Daniel Migden comes in. Good first inning for Liam Hendriks. He's done for the night. And for Daniel Migden, this is the 5th time that he has come in and done this. And he's done a pretty decent job. In fact, 3 of the 4 times he has pitched 4 more innings, which is exactly what you want.
Correct. That's what you're looking for, is that extended life.
Hit very hard right to Marcus Semien, who flips it across. Justin Upton is retired.
Your attention, please.
Again, this is this thing that the A's are doing is an adjustment period for many of the pitchers, and I think maybe even a little bit more of an adjustment period for Daniel Migden because of his pre-start routine where he was out very early. He was out there at 6:15 for a 7:05 start. So I think he's had to kind of figure out the routine, and sometimes that can take a little while.
Well, and that's a credit to Daniel Migden as well, because in this game you understand you have to adjust on the fly. You roll with the punches, and you've got to get in where you fit in. And that mindset will keep you in the big leagues a lot longer than you think. And for Daniel to be able to adjust provides Bob Melvin with the confidence that we do have a guy that I can go to regularly in this scenario. And I think, and just sort of having conversations with Migden over the course of this trial period, he is without a doubt one of the guys that has the mental fortitude to handle this.
And listen, the reality to it, Dallas, is if you're a pitcher and you don't like it, too bad.
That's right. I mean, this is.
I mean, listen, we're with a magic number of 7.
And the game overall, Kite, the game is changing.
3-1 or 3-0 pitches in first strike, 3-1. And that one just a touch low. So Ohtani with a 1-out walk. That's the first base runner for the Angels.
Something Ohtani's done a great job of himself.
Batting in the sixth position.
Leading off an inning, nobody on base. He's done a good job of putting together strong at bats, being that sort of spark plug, if you will. We know about the power.
And here's Andrelton Simmons. Speaking of power, of course, Albert Pujols is out for the year. Pujols, he had surgery on his left knee and then followed that up with had some bone spurs, bone chips in his elbow.
Yeah, just some loose bodies.
Yeah, so he is out for the year, and he's on a long list of players that certainly can make a difference. Zach Cozart, starting third baseman. Garrett Richards, we all know about him. Keenan Middleton was just kind of taking over the closer duty, and he's having Tommy John. J.C. Ramirez, all guys that were probably going to be in the rotation. But Albert Pujols sits at the top, but he is done for the year. Pujols finished the season with 19 home runs and 64 RBIs, so 633 career home runs right now for Albert Pujols. He'll be back next year. Simmons hits one in the air in the ballpark to Cannon. So out number 2. But it'll be interesting to see what happens next year with Albert Pujols. He has 3 more years left on his contract for obviously a great deal of money.
Number 3, Taylor Ward.
I'd be surprised if maybe Albert Pujols, I don't know, this is just a guess, but maybe not in the lineup quite as much next year as he has been over the years.
I think that's a fair assessment, a fair expectation. You've just mentioned that the injuries, he's not a spring chicken by any stretch. And that man right there, Shohei Ohtani, potentially out off of the mound until 2020. Think about the success he's had in the lineup. There's an opportunity to maybe have him somewhere. I don't know. So you got to have him somewhere in the lineup. And where do those ABs come from?
So 0-1 the count to Taylor Ward. Well, what it sounds like with Ohtani, Dallas, is he is going to have some surgery done soon after the season. That surgery, fairly significant, but he will be able to hit next year. And they figure he's going to be close to being ready. Maybe he may miss the first couple weeks of April, but he is going to hit. Now, he will not pitch next year.
No.
But he will be able to hit. So that's significant. So the plan then looking forward from what we've been told is that he'll be back pitching in 2020. Will not pitch next year, but will hit. So if he's not pitching and he's just hitting and he's healthy enough to hit, he's got to be in the lineup every day.
You would think.
Right?
You would think, based on what he's shown in just a small and sporadic body of work early on. He's gotten a lot more consistent as far as the ABs have gone down the stretch. But, trying to buy time for him on the mound, manipulating start dates and the rest dates and all of those things didn't quite get him the consistent at bats, the consistent time at the plate you'd like to see.
Yeah, so you eliminate that. Well, he's not going to hit the day before he pitches or the day, whatever it may be, and you just make him. He's going to be an everyday player. You give him 500 at bats, And we haven't seen a lot of them this year. But the Angels folks tell you, he has a chance to be a really good hitter.
Right, and I mean, is it a case where maybe the arm isn't ready or he isn't capable of throwing off the mound? But do you flirt with trying to find somewhere defensively?
Yeah, play him out somewhere. Yeah, so a lot of possibilities with Ohtani. It's very intriguing. Also, difficult decisions for the Angels because you want to do the right thing by this young man.
Here.
Could have been a strike.
Could have been.
And it was. So 2-2. Ohtani with the lead at first. Now he inches off a little further. Strike 3 call. So Taylor Ward takes a couple of pitches on the outside corner, and he strikes out a runner left for the Angels.
Follow the A's postseason push. Get A's home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
No score. Bottom of the second. It is Sharks night at the ballpark. Team Teal in the house.
Fins up. Full workshop.
Scotty with a little pop-up on the infield. Caleb Coward now backpedaling. And he makes the catch. Sharks fans may recognize these two guys. Logan Couture on the left and Jonathan Chichu, the choo-choo train.
Chichu!
I want to say he led the league in scoring one year. Jonathan Chichu. So he was pretty awesome. Go Sharkies.
Fins up.
Come on, high five, Team Teal. Fist up, let's go.
Chest bump.
Come on.
They'll chest bump. They'll get there. There he is, checking in. Atta babe.
Like, what are those guys? What are they talking about?
Couple of buttes in here, boys.
Baseball announcers are weird. Strike. 1-2 to Matt Olson. Olson 246, 27 homers, 75 RBIs. On deck is Marcus Semien.
Wilson got a good battle on his hands here against the lefty Tyler Skaggs.
Arsenio sets up down and away. Actually went a little bit up and in, so missed the target.
Yeah, not where he wanted it. And you can understand why Skaggs difficult on lefties. Again, running the fastball up, the big breaking ball.
Got in there again. This one right over top. Lefties hitting .235 against Tyler Skaggs. Righties .271. Not surprising with looking at the kind of stuff he has. That good breaking ball.
Yeah, he creates good downhill angle as well on the fastball, which makes that fastball up in the zone tough to hit off him.
That curveball kind of hung up there.
Well, and even that pitch, Kipe, can be difficult to handle when you think about a guy pitching up in the zone with the heater. And now here comes that elevated breaking ball. And I think there is a difference between a breaking ball thrown high in the strike zone as opposed to a hanging breaking ball.
That's a good point. The high curveball is not an easy pitch to hit.
No.
And I thought that pitch right before that one was a perfect example.
Well, have new or gently used baseball equipment that you'd like to donate for a good cause? Saturday, folks, the Oakland A's are teaming up with Pitch In for Baseball to host an equipment drive at the Coliseum. So bring your equipment to C-Gate, D-Gate, or the Bart Plaza entrance and receive 2 free tickets to that night's ball game against the Minnesota Twins. All equipment will go to the Oakland Athletic League. More information at athletics.com/community.
So 2 away for Marcus Semien. 12 home runs and 56 RBIs for Marcus. And he drives one toward left, but Upton, who was actually shaded into left center field, he's there, and he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down inning for Tyler Skaggs. Your TV, change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Beautiful sunset on a chilly night at the ballpark. Well, it is the middle of September. September baseball tends to cool off a little bit for October baseball, right?
That's right, it does. Oddly enough, Kipe, things heating up in the East Bay around October.
You've been thinking about that one. Magic number of 7 for the A's to get to the postseason with 12 games left to play. That includes tonight's game. Astros are beating the Mariners 5-0 late.
And you know, I don't know exactly how I feel about the idea of a magic number. I know it's a great goal for teams to have in front of them. Understanding we get here, we know what that means, right? But I've always also felt like there's room for just a little bit of a letdown after the fact. Say you hit that mark, or it's taken a while to get there, maybe a little longer than you anticipated. And now after the fact, there's a little bit of a I don't know if there's anything to it. Again, that's why the jury is still out.
You know, I'm going to wholeheartedly disagree with you there, Dallas.
Fair enough.
I think the magic number is good because that means you have done what you set out to do at the beginning of the year, and that's reach the postseason. And if you have a little letdown for a couple games after that, I think that's understandable.
Sure.
Batting in the ninth position.
I guess what I'm afraid of is it being so close towards the end of the season, and I think that's where my hesitation to fall in love with the idea comes in. But to your point, that is why we play the game, is to pencil ourselves in come October.
That's right. You play the game to get your magic number to 0.
Yes.
And the A's are getting close. Olsen, maybe. No, not quite. Be careful, Matt. Boo Birds are out for that fan in the front row. We'll get a replay to see exactly if the boos are deserved. Absolutely, they're deserved.
Yeah, we've
he reached quite a ways over.
Well, he reached over, but I understand. You know, hey, he's in the excitement seats. But there's a good chance Matt Olson's able to stick his glove out and make a play on this if he's not worried about getting creamed over the middle.
The excitement seats. Huh? So 0-1 the count to Jose Briseño, the catcher. A little bit outside. So we got games that we're keeping an eye on. The guys in the studio keeping an eye on them as well. Updated on exactly what's going on. Okay, with 2 weeks to go and the A's getting close. We'll make sure you know the scores of all the games.
You can see Briseño checking back with Marvin Hudson, seeing if that was about as high as he's going to go.
And Olsen moving nicely to his left, steps on the bag, and that's the second out. And here is our first October Quest update.
Now batting, number 56, Cole Calhoun.
Yeah, that's the wild card now, with the Yankees now 2 up on the A's for what is really a home game for the wild card game. 1 host 2. That was a crazy game too. The Yankees had a couple of errors in the top of the 9th inning, and they really almost let it get away. They had 2 chances to turn double plays, and they didn't. And then they got a 3rd chance, and they finally did, and it ended the game with a couple of runners on base.
And the Red Sox still seemingly struggling to identify arms down in the bullpen that they can rely on come high leverage situations. Late inning, Craig Kimbrell, but then who? You know, it's a short list, I think, of people you might trust.
Yeah, and it is the 18th of September. So if you're still looking,
might need to get some help.
Now certainly the Red Sox have ways to overcome any shortcomings they may have. They got pretty good starters and a terrific offense. Bullpens have become pretty important in the postseason, maybe more important than they were even 10 years ago. Hope we got enough.
Yeah, I tell you, the chair makers in the East Bay are always excited come September. I mean, that is a platoon of arms.
Calhoun, a little pop-up. Head back into the seats.
You know, but something you always think about, something I thought about as well as a young guy, spending time down in that bullpen in September, in the dugout in September. It's a great opportunity to learn from guys who have been in the big leagues, either with you or in place of you, whatever the situation may be. Great opportunity to learn the month of September.
Another pop-up. This one will be right behind the A's dugout, just a couple of rows deep.
Cole Calhoun doing a wonderful job of battling against Mingden. Mingden not necessarily featuring that one definitive wipeout, put away, secondary offering. Relies more on location, deception. You can reach back and go get you some velocity when need be. Might be a case here.
Swing and a miss. He blew him away with a high fastball. Calhoun strikes out for the second time. 3 up, 3 down inning for Daniel Mingden.
Sale and get up to 37% off appliances and up to 50% off mattresses.
Treehouse jumping as always. We like to call it the house that Dallas built. Big out there.
I think it's the cardboard cutouts I leave before every home game.
It's not a big deal.
It's comfy, man, I'll tell you.
It's a good hang.
A lot of good vibes.
1-1 to Mark Canna.
It's that changeup from Skaggs. I'm surprised he doesn't throw it more. Only 13% of the time, hitting .241 against the changeup, but he's got such good arm speed on all of his offerings, fastball, curveball, and the changeup. And he does that as well. He pitches well inside.
Tyler Skaggs, it's pretty simple. He's got to stay healthy, and he has not been able to do that.
That's it.
Even this year, I mean, he's making his 22nd start, but 2 stops on the disabled list.
Well, it's those, again, those ticky-tack injuries he's dealt with, the adductors. Talk about the legs and the lower half, how important that is for a ball player, especially a pitcher.
Yeah, he got Tommy John surgery out of the way. He had that back in 2014, so that is no longer an issue.
Yeah.
Good pitch there, 3-2.
And Kipe, unfortunately, it feels like Tommy John is on the Christmas wish list of kids around the country and anywhere. It's just not the route you want to go if you don't have to, folks.
Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, say that theory to a trainer, the one where you're like, well, you have Tommy John, you come back stronger than ever. No,
it's just not a roll of the dice you want to take.
Hannah fouls it straight back. Count remains 3-2.
You know, the success rate is what it is, and let's remember they gauge success by getting back to the professional mound and throwing a pitch. That means this procedure has now been deemed successful, which I understand. But again, if you don't have to get clipped, if you don't have to go under the knife, by all means, avoid.
Another 3-2, and again fouled straight back. That was a fastball up and away.
Well, I think we've seen a conscious approach from the Oakland hitters here early. Hit the heater, attack the heater. You don't want to have to hit that curveball if you don't. They're just trying to get Skaggs back down in the zone. Take advantage of a mistake fastball.
Another high fastball foul back. Should tell you the Rays are beating the Rangers 4-0. That game in the 8th inning. Of course, the Rays closest to the A's in that wild card chase. The Rays are 6.5 back for the second wild card spot. But man, are they playing good baseball.
The bottom line is they just don't care at this point what the naysayers have said.
And a good at-bat, and Canna walks. So Skaggs a little frustrated at the leadoff walk. Well, we just saw the Rays, and you're right. They just go out and they just play and don't make a lot of mistakes. Well, they deserve a lot of credit. They're 17 games over 500.
And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Kevin Cash as well, who's done an outstanding job. You think about what he came into the season prepared to deal with, or prepared to sort of figure out.
And that was before they started trading everybody.
Right. I mean, started the season with Chris Archer.
And it didn't take long, and you were starting Sergio Romo. 1-0 to Lucroy, hitting .239, 3 homers, 47 RBI. Foul back. Well, fouling a lot of pitches off from Skaggs, and that's why he's already thrown 42 pitches.
You mentioned spoiling the pitches up in the zone, waiting on Skaggs to climb back down into the zone.
So Bedrosian starts to throw. Remember, this is Skaggs' first start since coming back from the disabled list. August 11th was his start before this, and that was against the A's, and then he soon went on the disabled list. So he has not been real sharp.
Still knocking the rust off, as you mentioned.
Charles Nagy is the pitching coach for the Angels. Lucroy with the foul ball to even the count at 2-2. Laureano will be next.
And I guess in September you are kind of stuck in the middle of that thought process. Do you want to get that starter out of there as soon as possible and get to the bullpen? Well, the bullpen is quite literally a 25-man roster all its own these days. So
it's its own group. There's that breaking ball, and Lucroy chased it. One of the better breaking balls that Skaggs has thrown tonight.
Well, this pitch has depth to it. This isn't a ball that's bounced. This ball is a good chance this ball is a strike. If Briseño's forced to stick this pitch and dress it up a little. Instead, they've got Lucroy out in front. It just comes up empty. I mean, that was a quality breaking ball with 2 strikes for Skaggs. Good pitch in the zone.
So to the top of the order, Laureano, who had a long at bat, and he ended up walking in the first inning.
This is a first pitch changeup from Skaggs to Laureano. Remember, Laureano saw that 3-2 changeup from Skaggs. So I think that's trying to see if he can get action early, some soft contact, maybe a double play.
And that was hooked down the left field line, but it's foul.
That's what he's trying to avoid. Is Ramon Laureano foot down on time, ready for that heater kite. Skaggs has worked the baseball inside to these righties, in and up. Just chasing Laureano in.
Foul back with the fastball. But speaking of the changeup, it doesn't look like Skaggs has had a real great feel for it early in this game. Is that because he's been on the disabled list? They always said a changeup's a feel pitch, where sometimes it takes a little while to literally get the feel for it coming out of your hand.
Well, it's twofold. One, that's not his primary secondary pitch. That would be the curveball. And two, to your point,
fastball right on the inside corner.
he just hasn't thrown it with the frequency that would see him have that feel. Instead, he's gone back to this bad boy. Hole number 1, heater in. Little bird's eye view here. Inner third. You can see Laureano as he took that pitch. Momentum sort of carrying him out over the plate. Probably looking for something away.
Well, 3 strikeouts now for Skaggs as he faces Matt Chapman. Chapman rolls it foul. Matt Chapman on the season, he's tied for 6th in the American League in doubles, 6th in OPS, 6th in triples, 7th in extra base hits, 9th in slugging, and 9th in total runs. He scored 93 runs, so he's got a chance to score 100 runs. That's the second baseman, Cowart, calling for it. And that will do it. So he's got a leadoff walk, but could not do anything with it. And we are headed to the 4th. news, but hopefully it's going to make things better for
Right.
Andrew Triggs. He's going to have thoracic outlet surgery on the 26th of September. He's made 9 starts this year, and he's been out for quite a while. And he's just had trouble staying healthy. So thoracic outlet surgery, which we hear about occasionally. What do you know about that?
Yeah, well, one, it's not very comfortable, but in layman's terms, it's basically just a compression of nerves, arteries, things of that nature running from, I believe, the lower portion of the neck through the armpit. And that can, that can lead to tingly and numbness. Think about whacking your funny bone. Nobody's laughing except for your arm. Kind of that feeling all day long. Not very fun. So they go in there, they take some stuff out, move some things around, and hopefully you're not walking around with fuzzy phalanges.
So we wish Andrew Triggs best of luck. Hopefully we'll see him back in spring training. Fernandez, Trout, Upton, if anybody gets aboard. Ohtani. 3-1 pitch is a strike. So 3-2 to Jose Fernandez playing first base. He hit a fly ball to left field his first at bat. Looped foul down toward the A's bullpen. How about this? The A's have a new Triple-A affiliate. It's the Las Vegas 51s. That's going to start next year, so that's big news. Brand new stadium coming up in Vegas, and it'll be open next year. So the A's Triple-A team will have a brand new ballpark in Las Vegas.
Viva!
Yeah. It does happen sometimes where, well, it happens every year where minor league affiliates get shifted around a little bit for various reasons. When the A's left Sacramento, they went to Nashville, and Nashville had a brand new ballpark. Wonderful city, Nashville. The A's were there for 4 years, but sometimes the city or the ball club itself, meaning the Nashville team, they may say, you know what, we're going to go a different direction. Or maybe the big league organization says, you know what, we're going in a different direction. And it really just is a chess game. You just move around.
It is. And in this case, the different direction happens to be west.
Closer. There you go. Simeon charges. He's got it. But what you'd like to have is a brand new ballpark. I mean, that's maybe the biggest plus. And the A's had that when they went to Nashville, and they're going to have that when they go to Las Vegas as well. So that's big news, and it's good news, and you're right. It's what, an hour-and-a-half flight.
Starting to see a trend, though, Kipe.
What's that?
A new ballpark in Nashville. Oakland shows up. New ballpark in Vegas. Guess who's knocking on the door?
Okay.
Just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm kind of saying.
What you're saying. I think you're right on it. I think you're on to something. So a good 4 years in Nashville, but now it's Las Vegas. The 51s. They've been the 51s for a long time.
Yeah. Tell you what. It's a place I'm okay with never having pitched, not having to go back to pitch. Not fun. Can be a difficult place to evaluate arms. Just the dry air, dry desert air. Ball doesn't necessarily spin the way you'd like it to at sea level. Below.
You know what, though, really, if you think about it, it's a sleepy little town.
Not much distraction.
Not a lot going on. No. There's not distractions.
It's a place you can keep your head down, get to work.
Keep your money in your wallet. It's a good place for minor leaguers. Trout drives one left center. Gone. Number 35 for Mike Trout. And it's 1-0 Angels.
Well, we know there's two guys in this lineup at this point in time right now that you just do not want to let hurt you. Shohei Ohtani would be one. This guy, yeah, Mike Trout would probably be the other. And just a challenge fastball here from Daniel Mingden. Maybe not the guy you want to challenge. Mike Trout, there's a reason he's the big fish in this pond we call the MLB.
So Trout, number 35, his career high in home runs for a season is 41. That was in 2015. Career at the Coliseum, he's played 64 games. He's got 15 homers and 43 RBIs. Somewhere at least once at the Coliseum each of the last 7 seasons. None of that really surprises me.
No, he's
a nice player with maybe a bright future.
Decent upside. If he can just figure some things out.
We always sort of joke about Mike Trout that way. There's a lot of potential there.
There is. I mean, just listen. It's special.
Yeah, it is special. And you know what's unique about Mike Trout? I mean, he hits everything, right? But he really is. His swing is that of a left-handed hitter. He's very much a low ball hitter. Doesn't mean he can't hit a high pitch, but if you were to try to get him out, you may pitch him up a little bit. But man, he just drops the head on the low pitches.
Well, he's got a beautiful path through the zone. And for Mike Trout, he was sort of the poster boy of why you would want to start attacking up in the zone. Struggled early on as pitchers started to attack up.
So Upton with the walk. And now Ohtani will hit. Time now for another October Quest update. Here's Brody.
Now batting, number 17, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, the Astros, well, they're sniffing it a little bit, and that's what they do. 95 wins. So the A's now 4.5 back with 12 to play.
Well, I think we all understood that once the Astros were able to get right and get healthy collectively, they got Altuve, Correa, Springer back at the top. Back to playing Astros baseball, or at least the brand of baseball the Astros have been playing over the last 2 seasons.
Well, the month of August, the Astros went 14-12. Yeah, not great. September, they're 13-3.
A little bit better start.
Astros will have one more game against the Mariners. They'll have Thursday off. They'll play these Angels at home over the weekend, and then they will finish at Toronto for 3, at Baltimore for 4. So that is what is left for the Houston Astros. So the A's will try to keep pace tonight. Keep it interesting in the AL West. To the count to Shohei Ohtani, who walked into second. Fights it off, trying to pitch him inside.
Well, get your calculator. Our friends at StatCast have done the numbers. It's 106 off the bat of Mike Trout. 21-degree long jangle, low liner. Just incredible, incredible noise off the bat of Mike Trout.
Most home runs versus the Athletics since 2012, 28 by Trout. StatCast AI, powered by AWS. Bounces way out in front.
Outstanding work by Luke behind the dish here. Anytime the guy cuts a curveball off that bat, you can see that ball, I mean, darn near hit the grass. Luke, a tremendous job of anticipating this ball to kick up. Gets out around it.
Exmo brought to you by Cash Creek Casino Resort.
And it's one thing to prevent that ball from getting to the backstop, right? Job well done. But for him to actually be able to keep that ball in front and keep the runner at first base, you keep Upton at first, that's still got that double play in order.
And that one's hit well to left field. Canna goes back. Canna's right on the warning track now toward the middle of the warning track, and he makes the catch. So 2 outs.
Number 2, Andrelton Simmons.
Well, it sounded good off the bat. Stays inside of this pitch. That's why it's off to left. Canna tracking back to the warning track. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast, partner, 60 degrees at first pitch. Hasn't gotten any warmer.
And the ball's not carrying any better.
Not so much.
Simmons, that one's ripped toward left center field. Laureano on the move, not going to get it. Right at the base of the wall is where it lands. Upton is rounding third, and he's going to be held. So second and third, 2 outs, and got to give Ramon Laureano some credit. He really played that well off the wall.
Well, you do. You got to give him all the credit because this is a missile off the bat of Simba, Andrelton Simmons. And watch the bare hand. Excuse me, no bare hand, just a collective throw. You can see he sort of feels this like a ground ball almost.
It's like a double play.
Right. And a good transfer. So yeah, with 2 outs, that's a outstanding job.
Now batting.
7
3,
assists in 36
Taylor Ward.
games. Look at, I mean, Bradley's terrific. Leonis Martin, who's not playing due to injury, but he's a very good outfielder.
Well, I mean, Jackie Bradley Jr. has a cannon, tracks balls as good as anybody in a very difficult center field to play in Boston.
Well, this becomes a big at bat, Dallas, with Taylor Ward, the hitter. Second and third, 2 outs. Grounded to Chapman, who backhands, picks it up, throws a little wide, goes into a slide, does Ward, but he's tagged out, and that will do it. Trout with a home run, his 35th of the year, bottom of the 4th coming up, 1-0 Angels. Finale of all A's. We sit down with Oakland third baseman Matt Chapman. He tells us how he really feels about his stellar play at third base, picks his favorite defensive highlights. Plus, Brody Brazil tries, and I think that's probably the key word there, Dallas tries to emulate some of Chapman's most memorable plays. All A's premieres tonight on NBC Sports California, immediately following A's post-game live.
That's exactly who I would have went to when I think Gold Glove caliber, elite athleticism. But he wasn't there, so Brody was able to go out, and so that's nice of Brody.
Sometimes you take a step down. So the new pitcher is Cam Bedrosian. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Cam Bedrosian takes over for Tyler Skaggs. So Bedrosian enters 1-0 lead for the Angels here in the bottom of the fourth.
Bedrosian on his 68th appearance.
3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, or 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. And again, if you're wondering why only 51 pitches, this was his first start back from the disabled list, and I think they're being careful.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, essentially you just want Tyler Skaggs to get the feeling of completing the ups and downs, meaning getting out there, getting work in, sitting down, getting back up, getting out there, getting on the arm again. You'd like to see that happen a few times before you shut it down for the rest of the season. It's always great to go into the postseason, or excuse me, the offseason, knowing you're healthy.
All right, leadoff walk. Let's check back in with Brody for an October Quest update. All right, so the Rays just will not go away. I tell you what, it's becoming harder and harder to not make young man Snell from the Rays probably the leading candidate for the American League Cy Young.
I mean, there's a lot of conversation about Chris Sale and the dominant numbers. I think about the lack of the body of work, though. The innings pitched somewhere around 140, 150, I believe. You know, I think Justin Verlander, when I think about body of work.
Yeah.
But there is no reason that Blake Snell is not in that conversation.
Trout coming in. He's going to play it on a hop. So Lowry will go to second, and the A's have a walk and a single to open up the fourth inning.
Just a little fastball they want away, creeps back over right down Broadway. KD been using the other field quite well. Just lets this ball travel, lets it get a little deep in the zone. See Mike Trout throw up the deep. And the A's are cooking. First and second, nobody out.
For Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty takes a strike on the inside corner. To finish the conversation on Snell, his win tonight puts him at 20-5 with a 1.97 ERA, and he's got 200 strikeouts. So he's a 20-game winner, the young man.
That's a big deal. That is a huge deal.
He get a couple more starts. He will get a couple more starts. A strike on the inside corner, then a strike on the outside corner.
That's what you're going to have to do here with Piscotty. Work both sides of the plate. Piscotty hit .289 with runners in scoring position on the season.
Well off the plate. Angels play Piscotty to hit the ball toward right field. A little bit anyways. Trout 5 or 6 steps into right center field. And Upton well off the line and left.
And this right here, if you're the Oakland A's, is where you have to take advantage of getting into that bullpen. Cam Bedrosian, somebody not going to blow you away with a ton of velocity. Maybe a breaking ball offering that you can handle. So you got to take advantages of opportunities like this.
Good take there by Piscotty.
We start to creep into those bullpen arms. There's a reason 95, 96 means so much, is because 86, 87 is usually that breaking ball offering, but that margin of error with velocity is greater. Not so much here for a Cam Bedrosian type.
And a full count. Stephen Piscotty on a pretty impressive list. American League home run leader since the 13th of June. Chris Davis leads. Piscotty is tied for third with Lindor and Cruz. So 3-2. And it's high, and he walked it. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. A's have received 4 walks already in this game, and now it's time to take advantage of one of them. 2 of them, make it 3 of them, Dallas, leadoff walks.
And this is what I mean by you're in a good spot here. It's going to bring out Charles Nagy. Is again with Bedrosian, you're not fearing the fastball. You're not fearing getting blown away or just not being ready for one specific offering. You see, he likes that curveball, but again, if he can't throw the fastball in the zone for strikes,
getting Noe Ramirez up looked like it's quite a chore down there in the bullpen.
well, it's not as easy as just yelling a name or a couple initials these days.
Gonna find a glove.
Matt Olson.
All right, see if the A's can take advantage. 2 walks and a single. They're loaded. Nobody out for Matt Olson.
I like this matchup.
First pitch to Olson, and did he hold up? No. Sharp breaking ball from Bedrosian.
Take a look from the side. You can see that head travels far enough. Eric Cooper over at third, all over it.
Man, then he paints the knees on the outside corner.
Matt Olson, you're thinking, man, I offer it a ball in the dirt early. Then he goes out and paints a fastball down and away.
Sharp slider down at him. So 1-2 the count. Olson struck out in the second inning.
There it is. Even towards that back foot, Briseño got some leather on it, knocked it down.
On deck is Marcus Semien. And he got it. So Olson strikes out for the second time.
This is a curveball. Just sort of mixes in the middle, and if we're being honest, this is Bedrosian getting away with one. Ole behind on the breaking ball. Good chance he might have been sitting something a little harder
So now Marcus Semien hits. First pitch to Marcus is a slider for a strike. So all of a sudden Bedrosian, he's thrown about 4 straight really good breaking balls.
And that was sort of after spraying that breaking ball. Getting dangerously close to having that pitch eliminated by the Oakland lineup. And here in back-to-back hitters, he's used it to get back in the count.
Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. That one looked like it may have been off the plate a little bit.
Well, that fastball showing a little bit of life right now, late in the zone. Just some slight run.
Marcus gonna have to battle here. It's blocked by Senio. Well, you see your catcher do that, and I think you got a little more confidence to throw the ball in the dirt.
Well, that's why it's so important, is because you find yourself in game situations like this, Kipe. Men on, runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. You're ahead in the count. You've got to have the confidence and the comfortability to be able to bury your off-speed offerings.
And especially in a strikeout spot. And this is a strikeout spot.
Got to have it.
Semien hit a fly ball in the left field to end the second inning. And Semien cannot hold up. So there was that sharp breaking ball, and Briseño blocked it.
Back to the well again for Bedrosian and Briseño.
Now batting, left fielder, number
Head of the
50.
bat out in front. Just unable to put the brakes on was Marcus Semien.
So now it's up to Mark Canha to come through. Canha's got 4 hits and 5 career at-bats against Cam Bedrosian. Lowry's at third, Davis at second, Piscotty at first.
For Mark Canha hitting .359 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Mark Canha also hitting .333 with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Oh, and he got a hanger. So Bedrosian, that's the first one he's hung. First breaking ball he's hung in a couple of batters, and Canha fouled it back.
Again, he got away with that 3-2 breaking ball, that 2-strike breaking ball, excuse me, to Olsen. Did a better job with the last man, Semien, of expanding.
Won the count. Fastball inside corner, and he called it again. So I'm not sure that's a strike, but Marvin Hudson is looking for strikes. It's close.
There's a lot of work being done on the inside part of the plate early on in the game by Tyler Skaggs, and that very well could be what has loosened up the zone for Marvin Hudson, especially in that location, you know, and I think that's something you have to pay attention to. If an umpire is liberal on one side or the other, or one location or the other, or a pitch, pay attention and see what the game will give you.
Canha with a good job spoiling that Bedrosian slider.
Mark Hanna right now. Short, quick to the baseball. Doing everything you can to try to see him up.
Bedrosian's thrown 23 pitches in this inning. He's walked 2. He's struck out 2. And that one is drilled left field. Up and back. He's not going to get it. Bangs off the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Here comes Pastime. He will score.
Right man, right spot. Bags juiced. You want 1 man at the dish. Mark Hanna. And he comes through. Heater in. Pull the hands. Stay inside. 1 time. The Cannon Man can. That's right. Jed sees it. Matty Williams, he's going to bring Crush Davis on around. Piscotti in to score safely. Use a dog, Canna.
So Canna knocks in 3 with his 21st double of the year. And now the A's lead at 3-1. So Lucroy will hit. So the walks come back to haunt Cam Bedrosian, and they always do. Hanna now with 50 RBIs on the season. And there's a shot to center. That's a base hit. Here comes Trout. Here comes Canna. Safe.
We talked about
1 Athletics.
We talked about the breaking ball. Bedrosian going to that well 1 too many times.
So the A's have erupted for 4 runs here in the 4th inning, still batting. Pitching change coming up.
Lucroy. Hanger just spinning up at the top of the zone. And Bedrosian gone to the well 1 too many times on that breaking ball. This one just didn't have the hair on it. And Canna's going to slide on in safely at home. Good look. Great shot from the crew overhead. And he's pumped. That's right. East Bay, home of Mark Canna.
That's right. It's his house. He's a homeowner, man.
He is.
Noe Ramirez comes in, 66th appearance. Just trying to hit his Angels back in the dugout. A's have scored 4 times here in the 4th. Slider spins in for a strike, 0-2 to Laureano.
Couple of leadoff walks on the night, as you said. No one bigger than the leadoff walk this inning from Jed Lowry.
Laureano has a leadoff walk. That was in the first inning. He stole a base, but was stranded at third, and then he struck out in the third. Just got a piece of that one. Keeps the count 0-2. So Bedrosian goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks with 2 strikeouts. So a little ouch to the ERA.
There's a good chance that this is what you're going to see a lot of as this night continues. A lot of off-speed offerings, a lot of sliders. Bullpen game.
And that one's outside, so now it's 2-2. Daniel Migden likes the runs. Back out there for his 4th inning of work.
That's typically how that goes. You get a few runs scratched across, you get the lead, you're a pitcher. Hey, I want to get back out there.
Good take.
See Lucenio popping up and telling everybody, hey, 3-2 count, 2 outs. Runner will be moving. Ball to the left side. Make sure we go across the diamond.
Lucroy takes off, and the ball's hit high and foul. Another 3-2, and this one's hooked fouled on the left field line. Well, 8-pitch at bat so far. He's doing it again. What was that first at bat of the game? 9?
Yeah, I mean, and you see why. You know, soft enough to stay back and battle, quick enough to beat you to a spot inside.
Trout hustling in. Trout still coming in. He'll get there. And he makes the catch. Side retire, but the A's score 4 times. Mark Canha with a 3-run double. Lucroy with an RBI single. 5th inning coming up. A's now lead at 4-1.
with the 12th no-hitter in club history with his no-no against the Red Sox. This Friday, we celebrate that special night with a Sean Manaea bobblehead brought to you by NBC Sports California. So grab your tickets for that special night at athletics.com/tickets, folks. Get them in ya.
Well, since this is the last homestand, that's got to be this coming Friday, right?
That's it. Gonna be a good scene. I'm gonna clear some space.
Really? Are
Yep.
you in a party mood?
I could be. Could be.
Shutdown inning opportunity for Daniel Migden. 20 for 29. Facing Caleb Coward. Strike 3 called. Snapped one on the inside corner.
Working a little backwards here for Migden. Goes first pitch soft, change up, and then puts a bow on it with a big bender, locking up the lefty.
So that is the 3rd strikeout for Daniel Migden. And that curveball drops low to Jose Briseño. First, the Angels traded Martin Maldonado to the Astros. Maldonado, everyday catcher. But with the Angels struggling some and Maldonado going to be free agent. A free agent who I think, Booker and Kelly up, who I think will be very attractive to teams next year.
I agree.
Briseño swings at a pitch in the dirt. Maldonado, very defensive-minded catcher. He's really good behind the plate.
Well, Gold Glover.
If you don't need a huge amount of offense from somebody, if you got a good lineup,
It's a guy you can absolutely lean on. You are correct. He continues to get better.
This one grounded to the right side. Jed Lowry scoops, throws 2 away.
The Houston Astros have relied on him. He's
Now batting,
helped that club out a
Cole
lot. We're talking about giving
Calhoun.
guys breathers, guys banged up.
Astros won tonight 7-0 over the Seattle Mariners. A man who's been pitching pretty well for the Astros. Rookie by the name of Josh James. Got his first major league win. 7 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings. Seen him pitch on TV a couple times. Well, when Gonzalez homered and they beat Mike Leake, so Mariners are sliding out of it. And the Astros now with their 95th win.
And this is why you have to take advantage of, maybe it's not necessarily a soft spot in the schedule, but you have to take advantage. Anytime the team behind you drops a game, you've got an opportunity to make up ground, whatever it is. And I think the reason you have to pay attention to that is you think about the way Tampa Bay is playing right now.
One pitch to Calhoun. Right there is Canna, and Migden with a 3-up, 3-down inning and a shutdown inning as well.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the A's leading at 4-1. It is the bottom of the 5th inning. A's with a 4 spot in the 4th. It's also Sharks night here at the ballpark. So you see some of the teal out.
That might be the biggest corn dog I think I've ever seen.
Oh gosh, could you imagine eating that gut bomb?
I could not. I can imagine passing out immediately after. I could imagine a checkup. I could imagine cholesterol medicine. I can imagine a lot of things.
So as soon as you ate that, you'd be taking some type of pill every morning.
Yeah, well, probably starting with the nap immediately after, and then once I'm out of that coma, yeah, then we're probably working on fixing what I've just done to myself.
Yeah, those are not the frozen corn dogs that my mom used to feed me when she was like, yeah, just eat one of those.
No.
That thing is like ridiculous.
Well, you're bordering on county fair turkey leg status.
Oh, man. Two and two the count to Chapman. Chapman, Lowry, and Davis against Noe Ramirez here in the 5th. Chapman fouls it back. Chapman with a ground out and a pop out. And a couple of balls to the right side so far tonight. Three and two.
Good AB here. He's off a changeup away. And I think that's one of the things we've seen from Matt Chapman since the All-Star break is just an uptick in the patience as well.
Payout pitch, and it's hit to the left side. That's Taylor Ward. Third baseman, Crow's in time.
Saturday, you have the chance to win a game-worn, autographed jersey off the back of an A's player or coach following the game. Fans who make a donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund at home games from September 1st through the 22nd will receive a scratcher card for their chance to win. So fans will also have the chance to win autographed baseballs, A's swag, a 2019 suite, and more. So find a designated team member throughout the ballpark or visit section 217-217 for your chance to win. Sounds like a pretty cool deal. Drop some loot on the community fund, help some kids out, and you might walk away with a game-worn jersey. Doesn't sound like a bad deal.
1-0 to Jed Lowry. 2-0 to Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry in the 4th inning led off the inning with a walk, which may have seemed innocent at the time, but it led to a 4-run inning.
We talked about taking advantage of run scoring opportunities. Got guys in scoring position. Wanted to see the A's take advantage of that. It's a good inning. Looked like Drozier was going to be able to wiggle out.
So 3-0 to Jed. And that's a 4-pitch walk. So that is 5 walks by Angels pitchers so far in this game. Hey, time now for the Coors Light refreshing finish. On this date in 2016, Chris Davis hits home run number 40 in Arlington against the Rangers. It's the first of his 3 seasons with 40-plus home runs. He would finish that season with 42, only to follow it up last year with 43. This year, he's sitting on 43.
Pretty good go for the Crusher.
He got a hanger there and he fouled it back. So in athletics history, most home runs in 3 consecutive seasons. Chris Davis with 128 in this 3-year stretch. Jimmy Fox, well, he's a Hall of Famer. So if you're sandwiched in between Jimmy Fox, that's okay.
You'll take it. You'll take it. You're doing something right.
Now it's 0-2 with Davis, who had a single and scored a run in the 4th. Now 1-2 on Sunday, a grand slam for Chris Davis, and it certainly got things interesting in the 9th inning. These came up a little bit short in St. Petersburg.
But it just speaks to the resilience that this lineup shows. Chris Davis, obviously a central figure.
No swing as they check with James Boy.
Get your wrist curls in. Held it up, and he's rewarded.
Reach for one hopper towards second, and that's going to be a double play. So that'll end the inning, the 4-6-3 double play. 6th inning coming up. Yes, folks, the last week of the A's top 50 most memorable moments in Oakland. Of course, we want the fans to pick the most memorable moment. World Series sweep of the Giants in 1989 versus A's winning their 3rd consecutive World Series in 1974. Which one was a more memorable moment? Fans vote through our A's Twitter poll all week long to crown the champion. So it's been narrowed down. Dallas Braden had a terrific run. You were like a 2-month winner.
Yes,
I mean, you're a winner all the time. You were like a 2-month double winner.
It was lonely at the top for a while.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and small expert. So Sean Kelly comes in quietly, pitching extremely well. What a play. What a play.
I mean, that's why you're down there. That's why you strap it on. These are the moments you wait for. You lay out, you get dirty.
Sometimes September baseball brings out the best in ball boys, and I think we just saw it.
Well, it is. It's your time to shine. You just never know. Never know when that number is going to get called. See?
He's psyched. So 2-2 the count to Jose Fernandez. And he held up.
Tough pitch. I don't know, Kite, borderline.
And another take on a 3-2 breaking ball, and Fernandez gets the walk.
Well, time for your Ford Smart Play of the Day, brought to you by California Ford Dealers. That man right there, Daniel Mingden.
Now batting.
Carving out a nice little niche here as the Oakland A's give this opener trial a go. He's pitched well in this role. Not an easy adjustment to make, especially at this time in the season.
So here's Trout, and this is the heart of the order. Trout, Upton, and Ohtani coming up with the leadoff man aboard. Trout fouls it right side.
Well, time now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. That's the long ball from the big fish. Mike Trout got the heater, didn't miss. And that makes it 7 years running. He's gone deep here at the Coliseum.
And that one squirts away from Lucroy. He has a little trouble finding it, and Hernandez is going to go to second base.
It's not an easy pitch to block. Breaking ball that kind of gets spiked in front of the plate. This thing just kicks off the inside of Luke and heads up the third baseline.
Trout rolls it. Simeon quickly to first, and they just get Trout. So good pitch by Kelly. Trout may have hit that one off the end of the bat a little bit.
Yeah, just off the cap. But a good job by Marcus Simeon. You can see where he starts, retreats, gets the round ball just enough, grabs a short hop. About a step and a half or so.
So one out. Well, that's a big out. You get Trout with an unproductive out.
And it's not an easy play for Marcus Simeon either. The ball not hit incredibly hard. It's a ball he did have enough time to get around, which you got to make sure. Get momentum going over to first base. Speedy guy in Mike Trout.
No one's hit hard. Chapman, what a play, and then he dropped it. Looked like it was going exchange glove to throwing hand, and he couldn't hold it. Bob Melvin's coming out with Ohtani, the left-handed hitter. He wants Booker.
Well, it's not an easy ball to even get to.
So it's going to be an E5. Chapman, and we got a new pitcher, Buckner, to face Ohtani.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in to pitch for the SI.
California is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
All right, that's a Ryan Buckner fan. He's glad that his favorite pitcher's in the game.
He is.
And a key point in the game, top of the 6th, 2 on, 1 out. And Ohtani, the hitter. Ohtani, a walk and a fly ball to the left, and this is a guy who's got 20 home runs. So that's the job for Ryan Buckner, is to get this guy.
And you saw the numbers against the lefties for Buckner, 181 they're hitting. And for Ohtani, hitting 205 as a lefty against the lefties.
First pitch is low. An interesting point was made. We're talking to some of the Angels folks about Ohtani and how he's been swinging the bat well as of late, and they think the reason is because, well, he's in the lineup more, and it makes perfect sense.
The consistency,
especially in your first year.
Sure.
Here's the spot for Buckner, and he's done a good job stranding runners.
But you know, if you can get a guy the reps, you know that leads to comfort.
Pitch in, he had a good rip. There's a lot going on there.
Well, yeah, check this out. So on the left, you'll see these are the gloves he wears for hitting. On the bottom right hand, you'll see the pad. Obviously, his throwing hand on the right. Finger pads and a different set of gloves. And that is so if he is sliding at any point in time, guy comes down, he's got protection. But you'll wear those 2 different pairs of gloves in an effort to avoid maybe dirt or tearing on one set of gloves.
Could that be a little protection as well? The gloves on the left. Remember Jeff Bagwell used to wear to
that big
hit by a pitch? Yeah,
the big pad. And you'll see on the right, the index and the middle finger on both hands, those have some extra padding, it looks like, on the top. And you think about those fingers getting stepped on, hand on a bag, no good.
2-2. That's a base hit to left field. Fernandez will stop at third, so a little inside out by Shohei Ohtani, and now the bases are loaded. He's shaking his hand a little bit. That may have jammed him just a little bit.
Well, it's a high fastball, and he does a wonderful job of getting on top of the pitch, getting on plane with the fastball up. And you're right, he's got to pull the hands in. And though it may have rattled him, he ends up the victor.
So Buchter faces Ohtani, does not get him out. Trevino coming in for Simmons. Post-game live 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Chiefs this week on NBC Sports Bay Area. The home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area. Our good friends out in right field enjoying this one. Well, things have gotten a little dicey here with the bases loaded, 1 out. Trevino to face a guy who I always put down in the tough out category, Andrelton Simmons.
Well, one thing I do like about this matchup, if you're the Oakland A's, is obviously you've got the horsepower in Trevino, a guy who likes the fastball up in Andrelton Simmons.
And he goes after the first pitch, hits it down the right field line, and it's going to be off the side wall. Piscotty says, man, I need some help out here. James Hoy, the first base umpire, ran down toward the bullpen, so he had a pretty good look at it.
Well, and there's no doubt that Piscotty has a play on this ball. He sees the glove of the fan reaching over and into the field of play. And this is about self-preservation for Piscotty.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think when he turned his head away, I think he was doing it to avoid the glove that was being reached over.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And I think initially you might think that Piscotty is sticking his glove hand out to maybe brace himself against the wall, but I think that's because he sees the glove and understands, I'm going to get hit in the head. I now have to just physically brace myself. I have to quit worrying about the play.
And this will be interesting because, I mean, I think there could be a legitimate complaint here by the Athletics. The umpires are going to have to make a decision, obviously, and if it were to go the A's way, Mike Scioscia may lose his mind. Because if you think about it, the bases are loaded, and the A's will get an out, and the runner doesn't tag.
Exactly. And that would be setting a heck of a precedent, I think.
Now, we don't know what New York is going to call here, but the lady clearly reached over quite a ways, and they're showing it on the big board up here. And she knows she's in a bit of trouble, but she may get the A's and out.
And if that's the case,
right, does it?
It's a great play.
It's a great play by the fan. Well, and here's the ruling. Hold on here, folks. Oh boy. No. So they're saying a foul ball.
And I think the explanation ultimately would be that Stephen Piscotty, it would have taken an extraordinary effort to maybe finish the play.
Yeah.
Because I think there's the thought that he might have sort of been giving up on the ball. But I have to believe the reason we saw him hit the brakes and pull up is because he sees the glove out of his peripheral vision.
So 0-1 to Andrelton Simmons. Fernandez, Upton, Ohtani are the runners. And that one missed somewhere. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, well, this is just a matter of you're fooled by velocity. As the home plate umpire, you've got Jonathan Lucroy set up in one location. It's 97. It beats you to a spot.
And now it's 2-1. On deck is Taylor Ward. So 1 out in the inning. A walk, an error, and a single. That's how the base runners came about. And there's a shot left center field, base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And a big turn by Ohtani, and he ends up staying at second base, and now it's 4-3. So Simmons comes through with a 2-run single.
Well, it's a 2-1 fastball instead of a 1-2 count, and Trevino's forced to try to get back into it with another fastball. And Andrelton Simmons been having a great year. Just drops the head down and in. But another outstanding effort by Ramon Laureano in center field to hold a charging Ohtani at second.
So here's Ward. First pitch to Ward, and a hit him. So the bases are loaded again.
And that'll bring out Scott Emerson, and this is just about calming the scenario down. As a pitcher, you can't help but wonder what could have been, what might have been if that play gets made out there in right field. But you've also got to be able to move past that very quickly. And that's a heck of a lot easier said than done at times. So I think this is a good meeting by Scott Emerson. Come out, just sort of reel the inning in.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, you're still just 1 pitch away, double play opportunity.
So here's Caleb Cowart. That ground ball to Chapman Dallas has been changed from an error to a hit. So that was the Upton ball. So erase the Chapman error. And so that makes for 3 hits in the inning, but also a walk and a hit batter. So here's Caleb Cowart, who has grounded out and struck out. And first pitch to him is way inside. Maybe overthrowing a little bit.
Well, that's something that I think you can account for the play in right field not being made. You feel you got to do just a little bit more. And I think that's why Scott Emerson went out and just tried to calm Sweet Lou down, because a man on a mission is Lou Trevino.
And Coward hits one very high to right field. Piscotty's back. Piscotty's at the wall, gone. Caleb Coward with a grand slam. Angels lead 7-4.
Fastball center cut.
Now batting, number 10.
And the big lefty, after having his feet moved early in the AB, digs in, gets comfortable. That's all she wrote.
First home run of the year for Coward. It's also the first grand slam of the year for the Angels. So it's a 6-run inning. And still only one out as Jose Briseño hits. So Kelly ends up giving up 2 runs in a third of an inning. Buchter a run. It's the only hitter he faced scored. And it all started with a walk.
Leadoff walks will kill you. 2-out knocks will get you to heaven.
Oh, 2 the count to Briseño, who has grounded out twice. And that one just a touch low.
I think it'd be fair to say as well tonight, some of the pitches that have gone the way of the Anaheim Angels just haven't obviously gone the way for the Oakland A's. Matter of 2-1, 1-2.
Chapman charges. He's got it right near the bag. His throw. And Olsen, what a dig. That is a tough play for Matt Olsen, and he made it.
I mean, you want to talk
Now
about
batting, number 56.
getting it done over at first base.
Calhoun.
Think about the cool, wet environment right now. I promise you there's some dew, some moisture on that infield grass. That ball just skips and takes off. Not an easy dig to make. Beautiful job by Ole to stay down.
So here's Calhoun now with 2 outs. He's the 9th man to bat in the inning, and he swings and misses. Calhoun is 0 for 3.
It's another gander here. Chabby coming in nicely, just cuts it off a little bit. Ole hanging tough.
Well, the crowd tonight, a little over 15,000, has been silenced here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-run single by Simmons and a grand slam by Caleb Coward for a 6-run inning. Ansel Robles warming up.
First homer in the year, you said, for Coward.
First of the year.
Kind of leaving everybody in shock.
Full shift on for Cole Calhoun. Cutter, and Calhoun strikes out for the 3rd time, but major damage done. 6 runs for the Angels.
authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So, different story. The Angels now lead 7-4, bottom of the 6th inning. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's Hansel Robles, who's appearing in his 49th game. So he will face Piscotty, Olson, and Simeon here in the bottom of the 6th. And the first pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Piscotty disagrees, and the A's have not been real happy with Marvin Hudson. He's called a lot of strikes on the inside corner. Pitchcast has said that they're close, but maybe a little off the plate.
Well, it's something to think about. You watch where Marvin Hudson is setting up, and he sets up in that window off the left shoulder of the catcher, right on the inside part of the plate. So I guess there's two ways you can think about this. One, he's got a really good look on that side of the plate, and maybe you're questioning why the love. Two, he's showing you that he's comfortable on that side of the plate, and maybe that is a place you might want to go to.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think whether that's the case or not, you could deduce from tonight's game that the inside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter might not be a bad place to try to get a strike or two.
Yep.
And those are the small adjustments or the small things that you do look for and you do pay attention to as the course of a game goes on, because while that may not be in big bold letters in a scouting report or any of the information that comes across your desk, it's something to pay attention to.
Well, it sounds like a in-game scouting report.
Exactly.
Olson, line drive right into the glove of Caleb Coward. So 2 quick outs here for Hansel Robles.
You see the hitters go back and talk to each other. They're telling each other not only what the opposing pitcher has, what his stuff looks like, but hey, where did he call that one on you? What did he say? Oh, he said that was about as low as he was going to go. So now you've got a feel for the zone.
So 2 outs. Here's Marcus Simeon. Marcus has hit a fly ball to left, and he is struck out.
That did not feel good for Briseño, I promise you. Heater off the thumb. Take a look here. Right off the thumb. And you're thinking, well, that looks like it's got a ton of padding right there. Not where that ball caught him, folks.
Inside with a fastball, 96 miles an hour, so 2-0 to count. Toward the left field line, and it's going to be foul, and well foul. Well hit also by Marcus Simeon.
Now, do you think he can put that under his pillow and get his 2 teeth back? Does it work that way?
Keep the $5 and the ball.
There you go. There you go.
And now 2-2.
Just you never know how those tooth fairies are. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, anything could happen right now.
Yep. And he knows it.
Can I see it? No. No. Nope.
I just want to see it one more time, please.
Nope. A little high, 3-2. Robles looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Skaggs had one back in the second. Very high right center. Trout waiting. So Robles does get the 3-up, 3-down inning. Deep coming in. We're moving to the 7th. Friday of the regular season. A's Treehouse is the place to be. That's right behind section 234. The first 500 fans that will show up get an authentic A's fan aluminum sign. All fans can pick up one of our Collector Series cheer cards. It's Mark McGuire this week, Big Mac. For details, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com. So that's all coming up on Friday when the Twins are here for the final home weekend of the regular season. So the new pitcher is Yusmeiro Petit, appearance number 70. 7-3, 3.17 ERA. Start getting into the 70s as far as amount of appearances. That's pretty good.
Well, typically the name or the phrase, if you will, the moniker of workhorse, reserved for a starting pitcher, maybe a guy 200+ innings type. Well, those are unicorns these days. So now I do think you start to think about guys like Yusmeiro Petit, who lend the manager and the organization, frankly, some flexibility in terms of role and how they can be deployed.
Lowry ranges to his left, and he throws out Jose Fernandez for the first down. Well, last year with the Angels, Yusmeiro Petit had a career-high 60 appearances. So this year he has shattered that number.
Mike Trout.
Been there, done that.
He was really good last year. 2.76 ERA in those 60 games, and he's been pretty darn good this year.
He's at a 3.17 now. But as you just talked about, a little bit more of a demand out of the role.
And there he faces Trout, who homered in the 4th inning. It was his 35th of the year. So it's probably going to happen again to Mike Trout. And he's having a terrific season. Probably won't win the MVP, but he'll be a top 3 guy probably.
I think that's fair to say. I think I know what you're getting at. Another unbelievable year for Mike Trout, and another year where, as you said, he won't get the trophy for it.
Mariano's going to grab this one, and he does. So Trout is now 1 for 4. Well, he's got a couple MVPs.
Now
And he has finished second 3 times. Last year he finished 4th. He missed some time last year.
Yep.
So second, first, 4th.
And was that 12 or 13? Miggy wins the Triple Crown. I mean, that's what you're losing your MVP to.
Coming up a little short, huh?
Is a guy who it takes somebody winning the Triple Crown to move you off your MVP pedestal. I mean, and that's just a level of consistency. Again, just put this in perspective, folks. Mike Trout, as he sits right now in the dugout, is better than over half of the men enshrined in the Hall of Fame right now.
It's a good point. In fact, there was news over the weekend. Angels, I guess, have made it clear that they are going to try at least to sign Mike Trout to an extension. And if you're going to do that, it's obviously going to be you're going to finish your career as an Angel. It could be, who knows, a 12-year contract. Who knows?
Keys to the organization.
Yeah.
Type thing. I mean, look, the bottom line is, folks, that man right there, him. He's better than your dad's favorite player, your dad's favorite player. He's better than all of them.
Well, he's in the 4th year of his 6-year contract, so he's got 2 more years on this contract. And that would get him to, I believe, 29 years old. So it's going to take something like probably a 10-year deal.
And it's crazy to think about, but you have to in this day and age with finances and the future of a team and your organization. But for the Angels, could you really afford to let Mike Trout walk?
I think they see that. They're smart people. So good inning for Petit. We have reached the 7th inning stretch. 7-4 Angels.
Is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Bottom of the 7th inning from the Coliseum. Angels 7, A's 4, and Blake Parker is the new pitcher. He is pitcher number 5 on the night. Skaggs went 3, Bedrosian 2/3, Ramirez an inning and a third, Robles 1 inning. And now Parker is facing a pinch hitter. This is Nick Martini. Martini is hitting for Canna. for their runs in the 4th inning. Big series going on in the National League, Dallas, is the Rockies and the Dodgers. Fine. Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers with a half-game lead over the Rockies in the National League West. They're playing game 2 of that series tonight, and it's 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Arizona trying to hang on, but Arizona's getting blown out by the Cubs tonight. So the Diamondbacks in big, big trouble.
I don't know that the Diamondbacks have enough in the tank to make that final push. Dodgers playing well.
That's a base hit left field for Nick Martini.
It's a prototypical AB from Nick Martini. I know we've gotten used to some of the extended at bats, him really fighting pitches, but this is just textbook. Let the ball travel, hit it where it's pitched, shoot it right through that 5-5 hole.
Matt Joyce, batting for LaCroix.
And right now, just trying to pass the baton, get yourself on base, that leadoff hitter mentality.
So Matt Joyce is going to pinch hit. So Bob Melvin using back-to-back left-handed pinch hitters. He worked with Martini, and now we'll see if Joyce can come through. He's 5 for 18 as a pinch hitter this year.
We've got the deep bench of September. Go ahead and dip into it.
First pitch is in for a strike from Blake Parker.
Lefty's hitting 270 against Parker, so you gotta figure that's going to play into the decision making for Bob Melvin.
Martini dances off, and the pitch is up and in. Quick throw, and he just gets back.
Senio not afraid to throw to the bags. Saw an attempt down at third earlier in the ball game. Here Martini with a good secondary.
Joyce with a good take. Joyce probably just trying to get that feel back. He was out for a long time.
That's it, but to his credit, Kipe, he's done a lot to get himself back in position to be able to be called upon off the bench, just like this.
In for a strike on the inside corner. It's that off-speed pitch from Parker.
Yeah. A bit of a change up here. See that thing just sort of make its way back to the inside part of the plate.
So 2-2 to Matt Joyce. Laureano will be next. That's blocked by Shenio.
There it is, that good split again. Another good block by Briseño. Split finger, not an easy pitch to dig out of the dirt itself.
Both bullpens busy. Let's see if Martini takes off, down by 3.
Well, Parker anywhere between a 1-3 and a 1-5 to home plate. Might be a situation where Parker goes slide step. If not, you very well may see Martini take off.
So 3-2. Martini is not going. Drill the left, but Upton's coming in to make the catch. So Joyce is retired, and now to the top of the order, Ramon Laureano.
Now batting center fielder, 22.
Guerin and Familia pitching in the A's bullpen. Justin Anderson is in the Angels bullpen, a right-hander. Laureano, a walk, a strikeout, and a fly ball to center field. So he's 0 for 2. He opened up the bottom of the first with a walk, and then he stole the base. And he got to third with 1 out, but the A's could not get him home. Again, that was in the very first inning. Breaking ball, and he chased it. So a quick 0-2.
Backwards approach here against Laureano.
He doesn't throw a lot of breaking balls.
He doesn't, but I tell you what he does do, Kipe, is he's got good downhill angle on the fastball at times, and he can tunnel both the split and that breaking ball out of the same release point, and that'll make it difficult for guys, even if he hasn't been in the zone with that breaking ball.
0-2 pitch, outside corner, strike 3 call. So 2 away.
And this is just a backwards
Now
AB.
batting third baseman,
Start him
26,
soft,
Matt Chapman.
finish him off with the hard stuff. And that's that angle on the fastball that I was just talking about. Play that off the split. It's got some downhill angle, and then it bottoms out that big curveball. The fastball just holds its plane down in the zone.
First pitch to Chapman is high, 91 miles an hour. And Chapman is 0 for 3. Got a good swing. Fastball, that one a little more hittable.
Pitch up. We've seen Chapman do some damage on the fastballs up in the zone.
So 1-1 the count. Martini still at first. He led off the inning with a base hit. Just missed outside.
That's a good take by Matt Chapman. Good borderline pitch from Parker. Chappie looking for that straight one.
Infield plays Chapman straight away. Outfield just a little bit toward right center. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Is that a splitter?
That's it,
And he throws it a fair amount.
And you see that angle. That's what I'm talking about. It's got good downhill angle in about 50 feet. That sucker starts to tumble.
So you got to look for it if you can. Right on the outside corner, Chapman knew it. Couple of strikeouts for Blake Parker, and we're headed to the 8th.
50th anniversary season here in Oakland. What better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey accompanied by our world-class fireworks? That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks, people. Join us Saturday beginning at 6:05 for our game against the Twins, and stay for the Bay's best fireworks display going. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today.
So it is the 8th inning. The 7-4 Angels lead here at the Coliseum. And Corey Guerin comes in. 61 games so far. He's been with 3 different teams this year. This is his 6th appearance for the Athletics. He's given up a couple of runs in his first 5. And the first pitch is outside to Shohei Ohtani, who has walked, hit a fly ball to left field, and he has singled. Followed by Simmons and then Taylor Ward. Runs away, and it's 2-0. Martini's in the game and left. Fegley is in the game as the catcher. Ohtani taken all the way, and it's in first round.
You know, Corey Guerin's going to come in and really come at you deliberately. See if he can get you to hit his pitch. He's not going to give in.
One moving away from Ohtani.
Obviously, Corey Guerin was somebody that the Oakland A's identified as someone who could help during this push, potentially on into the postseason. Throw the ball bad earlier in the year.
Reach for again, poked foul.
He combined 2-1, a 3.51 ERA over 56 appearances, both with Texas and San Francisco.
Well, he can be a funky at bat for you.
Well, there's no doubt that there's a disruption of timing. And if you think about a Daniel Mingden and the way he winds up and his body movement, there's an opportunity for hitters to gather information and pick up a physical cue that allows them to get comfortable or maybe anticipate when that ball might be coming. For Corey Guerin, there's little to no physical cue or physical tip as to when this ball is coming. Maybe breathing pattern.
Well, and his front leg doesn't do anything. It just, he's not lifting it up. He slides it, and that starts his release.
And so, as a hitter, if you're up there trying to really pinpoint a release point, something in the arm swing, whatever it may be, he doesn't make it easy on you.
Man, that's a walk. So pretty good at bat by Ohtani. He's been on base 3 times.
And take a look. Like you said, Kite, that front leg comes up, and that's about it. Just not much to go on.
Number 2, Andrelton Simmons.
So here's Andrelton Simmons, who had a big hit in this game. A bases loaded single that knocked in a pair. And that made it a 4-3 game. And then 2 hitters later, Caleb Coward hit the grand slam. All in the 6th inning.
And that was a good play by Laureano on that single off the bat of Simmons. Remember, cut that ball off, played it nicely.
We're showing you Guerin's glove. Just watch when he comes to the set.
Well, he's sort of providing a canopy.
Our hitters trying to look underneath, see what's going on under there.
This is a matter of getting a grip on a pitch, or he's presetting the grip on a pitch. And as you start to cycle through your pitches, if it's maybe not the one that you're going to throw, at times guys have a tendency to tip. So there could be some flaring that he may have experienced. There could be some raising of the glove on one pitch that he may have experienced.
Runner goes, the ball's hit right up the middle into center field, a base hit. Ohtani slid at second base, and he tried to get up quickly and thought about going to third, but so if he slid, then he probably never really picked up the ball. The ball went right past him.
Now batting, number 3, Taylor Ward.
Might be a hit and run scenario here, which I think it is. And Andrelton Simmons, take a look at that ball. That ball is chasing him down and in, and he's able to get to it, stay inside of it. It's a smart move by Shohei to pump the brakes there at second.
So now you have 2 on, nobody out, and Taylor Ward is the hitter. We'll see if Taylor Ward, would he be bunting? Strikeout, ground out, hit by pitch, run scored. Olsen comes charging in, and it's rolled foul.
Kind of reminds you of Anthony Rizzo and how he gets right up in the grill of the hitter. But I mean, they'll start him out there. You know, they'll give him bring him an infielder's glove, start him out. Right there, almost near the cut of the grass, it feels like.
Chapman in as well, ready to charge.
Chapman in, ready to charge, and if you're Corey Guerin, you're anticipating this ball over to the third base side. You want to be able to field this ball, and if it's hit to you hard enough, Chapman will have time to get back to third. You're going to spin and throw it over to Chapman.
And it's bunted. Fegley's got it. Fegley throws to third. They got him there back to first, and it's thrown away down the right field line. Simmons is going to be waved home, and that's going to be a run for the Angels as they throw back behind, and Ward gets back. So the Angels are going to get their 8th run. Fegley got the out at third, and then Chapman just threw wild back to first to try to get the double play.
Well, there's a lot going on here. Out of the gate, it's a wonderful job of bouncing behind the dish by Fegley. Here you can see Chappie. He gets his feet caught up on the slide, trying to make a heck of a play, finish up the double play. And then Stephen Piscotty on the back door. That's right, that's not Jed Lowry, that's Ramon Laureano, folks. But here, Fegley popping, and you can see the slide catches the right foot of Chapman. That'll take him off balance. Errant throw, but Laureano, he's not just buying a ticket and catching the game. You've got somewhere to be.
That's impressive. So it's a fielder's choice. The putout goes 2-5, E5, no RBI, but it's a run for the Angels to make it 8-4, and still only 1 out. First pitch is outside to Caleb Coward. Here's the play again. Everything's good right here.
Now watch the feet. Right there, you can see what you kind of blocked off, but.
And listen for the runner sliding. It's the same situation as if you were sliding into second base. Now, obviously, there's things you can't do anymore due to new rules, but still, you are there to try to disrupt the guy throwing the ball.
No doubt, there's nothing that says you can't take a guy out, but right there, you see his right heel, and you can see the line mark on Shohei Ohtani's knee, and the expression on his face will let you know that hurt. That was a spike right in the patella.
So 1-1 the count to Caleb Coward, who has the grand slam. That was in the 6th inning. That's the sinker low. Jose Briseño, the right-handed hitting catcher, is waiting in the on-deck circle. To the backstop, not quite. Fegley picks it up, but it rolled far enough away for Ward to go to third. So Fegley got a glove on it.
Fastball that just gets jerked to the inside part of the plate. Actually catches a little bit of the home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson.
So the count now 3-1. And that one's hit high and deep right center field, off the top of the wall. Coward hits the bag at second. He's going to try for third. He's going to make it. Is coming in to score is Ward, and now it's 9-4. So Caleb Coward almost pumped another one out of here.
He did. You were right. This out to the big part of the yard here, right center. That marine layer. He's a big, strong guy. You can see long levers. Somebody you don't want to let get extended. Gets a pitch middle up. Right into the bat path. About 4 or 5 feet away from a long ball.
So it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter.
You know, Kipe, even if Laureano isn't able to, if he isn't able to get a hand on that, that ball might continue to kick.
Number 9, Eric Young Jr.
So here's Eric Young Jr. He's going to hit for Briseño. So 5 RBIs for Caleb Coward. He came into the night hitting .123 with no homers and 3 RBIs. So Guerin's first pitch just a touch inside, and JB Wendelken is now loosening up out in the A's bullpen. Not a pretty inning. A walk, an error, a wild pitch, and 2 runs for the Angels. Bunted back to Guerin. He's got it, and this is going to be a thing of beauty. Double play. Flips to third. Side retired. Angels get a pair. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 9-4 Angels over the A's. All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. So 9-8-0 for the Angels, 4-4-1 for the Athletics. A 6-run 6th inning is the story right now. Tyler Skaggs started. Daniel Migden came in the 2nd inning after Hendrick started. Migden pitched well, but none of the other relievers have had any luck for the A's, and we don't say that very often. So the A's trailing 9-4, and it is the bottom of the 8th inning. If you're just joining us, the Astros beat the Mariners 7-0. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 3-2. So A's chasing those two teams, one for the division, one for the wild card, or the #1 wild card spot. And right now those two teams have won and the A's are losing.
And the job doesn't get any easier here against Justin Anderson. You get up to 100 miles an hour on the heater and you get a real good look at that sharp slider.
New catcher is Francisco Arcia. Yeah, Anderson's done a nice job for the Angels.
Throwing the ball very well as of late. Is not allowed a run in 14 of the last 17 outings. It's also been very effective when coming in with traffic. Stranded 21 of 24 inherited runners on the year. Get you some swing and miss when you need it. And the prerequisite 99 out of the bullpen.
Yeah. Anything under 95 just doesn't even count anymore, does it?
We were having this conversation earlier today, and you think about the average fastball at the big league level today, somewhere around 94, 95. Think about sliders averaging somewhere around 85 to 87. Kind of feels like it was the other way around a while ago.
Good swing by Jed Lowry, and now a full count. The A's need base runners, and they need a bunch. Lowry is 0 for 1. He has walked twice and scored a run. And he's walked again. So leadoff man is aboard. Six walks by the Angels. In fact, they have received, the A's have received 4 leadoff walks in this game. First inning, 3rd inning, 4th inning, and now here in the 8th inning.
And you got to make those hurt.
Yep, at some point, and they did in the 4th. Try to do it again here in the 8th.
Well, again, late in the ball game, you don't count this squad out.
Slider from Anderson in for a strike. Back in, man. It's the cool thing to do now, Dal.
They've all been there. Keep it score with Kite.
It's blocked by Arcia.
That is a heck of an effort behind the dish. And we're talking 84, 85 with some serious movement. Watch this thing just bounce up and get gobbled up by Arcia.
Davis swings and misses. That is a nasty pitch.
I mean, you're playing for 96, 97. You know, maybe even 100 at times. from the righty, Justin Anderson. Drops that on you? Not fair.
That one he just missed. Left it up.
Well, and you can even see the reaction from Chris Davis. That pitch still away, just up. You got the head nod back. Just something you're not used to seeing, and that's because you've got a feel for the 98 coming out of his hand.
Pitch, strike 3 called, 97 miles an hour in the outside corner. So that's the 8th strikeout by A's hitters tonight.
Now batting right fielders.
Well, he got ahead with strike 1. That tiny little slider. And then didn't need to go back into the zone until late here with the fastball to freeze KD. Got a good swing and miss on a breaking ball. Get himself to 2 strikes and then just paint the heater down and away.
First pitch to Piscotty is rolled foul. That Dodger Rocky game is now in extra innings, 10th inning. Rockies win, they jump back into first place. Dodgers win, they extend their lead to a game and a half.
That is going to be a race to watch until the very last day.
Swing and a miss. Bad news for the Rockies, though. They lost their shortstop, Trevor Story, who's having a MVP type season, and he's got some elbow damage, huh?
But they did have some good news today. They had some pictures taken and the results came back. Probably just a little irritation. No,
that's good.
Just a little aggravated. So they'll probably give him a few days to calm down, let that thing quit barking, and get him back out there. Because one of the first things that came to my mind, and you hate to even put it out in the universe, but you hear UCL, irritation or potential damage or strain. As a pitcher, my mind automatically goes to Tommy John,
sure.
UCL construction. And it happened on a swing, which instantly tells you, well, he's not going to be at the plate for a few days, so you know what that means. Think about the tremendous defensive capabilities as well. He's not going to be able to make those throws.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. Speaking of injuries, Aaron Judge was back in the Yankees lineup tonight, so that's a big deal in New York. He was 0 for 4, but in the starting lineup. I'm sure the Yankees were thrilled about that. The Yankees beat the Red Sox.
Well, I think for the New York Yankees, having an understanding of what their playoff hopes look like and how that pans out, good to just get him back moving around on the baseball field.
Piscotty hits it hard, and that's a base hit. First hit of the night for Stephen Piscotty. So that's hit number 5 for the A's.
Well, you can see this two-seamer
Now batting first baseman.
just works itself back into the zone, just out of the reach of the splayed out Andrelton Simmons.
So an opportunity for Matt Olson. Matt Olson is 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a soft line drive to the second baseman. He takes a strike.
.27 home runs on the year, 75 RBIs.
A little bit low, 1-1. Justin Anderson is pitcher number 6 in this game. He's have used 7. So a total of 13 pitchers. And we're in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Not something you thought you'd see or thought you might be getting used to. More pitchers than innings played.
I don't know that we'll ever get used to it. Matt Olson swings and misses, 97 miles an hour. So 2-2 the count.
See a good heater down. Ole just trying to get extended on something.
Olson hits it hard in the right field. That's a base hit. Lowry is going to come around. Lowry's going to score. Piscotti over to third, and now it's 9-5.
Chip in a chair, Kite, but chip in a chair is all you need to keep chipping away, and that's what the Oakland A's are doing. Matt Olson puts together a nice AB. Continue to pass that baton, as we say so often. No shift for the Angels. Ole pulls it right through the hole. A's go first to third. Jed Lowry comes around and scores. And if the Oakland A's can continue to put these types of at-bats together late in ball games, whether or not they're on top at the end of it, they have shown throughout the course of the season that they just will not go quietly into the night.
So a giant meeting comes to an end. Marcus Semien will step up. He's got a first and third and only one out. So Marcus Semien 0 for 3. Good time for his first hit in the ball game. Slider that's low.
Marcus Semien's hit some hard balls tonight, albeit foul.
Well, he needs to hit one hard and fair.
I'd like to see him get something in or third. Maybe 95, 96, him open up and be ready.
Another breaking ball. This one misses, and it's 2-0. A's with 261 runs scored from the 7th inning on. That's the 3rd most in the majors. 8th inning has been the single inning where they've done the most damage. Another breaking ball, and it's low. 3-0. Ty Buttrey is warming up. Deck is Nick Martini. Not close, and it rolls away from the catcher Arcia. It's ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Just goes with this fastball, trying to get back into the count. 3-0. Need a strike. Well, lucky they avoided a pass ball free run.
Now here comes Mike Scioscia. And he's going to go get his 7th pitcher of the night. Ace with the bases loaded, 1 out and a run in here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back. Tomorrow to be game 2 of the series. Felix Pena making his 16th start against the A's left-hander Brett Anderson, who will be making his 15th start. So that is tomorrow, with our coverage starting here at 6:30. A's pregame live. We'll get you all ready to roll. Ty Buttry is the new pitcher, and he comes in and he's got his hands full. Bases loaded, 1 out. Nick Martini, the hitter.
Facing a lefty. Lefties as a unit hitting 300 against Buttry. Going to get 95 to 98. Slider change up out of the big righty.
First pitch is not close. 7 walks issued by Angels pitchers. 3 of them have scored, including Lowry in this inning. That one's in first strike, 95 miles an hour. Martini pinch hit in the 7th inning for Canna, and he had a base hit leading it off.
That's something we've seen Martini do so well, is take that pitch on the outside and just shoot it right through that 5-5 hole.
Well, the A's are making the Angels relievers work. Piscotty, Olsen, Simeon are your runners. Swing and a miss. Martini went after a high fastball right at the top of the strike zone.
Fastball up from the long righty. 96, Martini just target.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. And that one actually looked like it did catch the corner.
It's that back whip fastball. Looks like they might have wanted it away. You can see Arcia reaching back, but the combination of velocity and arm side run makes that pitch look like it's a lot farther inside than it may have been. Martini just couldn't pull the trigger.
So 2 outs, and the A's are going to send up Dustin Fowler. And this is Fegley's spot.
Again, this is for that left on right matchup against Buttry.
First pitch to Fowler. Misses inside. is 3 for 11 as a pinch hitter. A couple of RBIs in that role. Not playing a lot since being brought back to the big leagues. And Rodney joins Delkin. Fowler straight back. And now is behind in the count 1-2.
Well, one thing we've seen is the depth of the bench of Bob Melvin has the ability to match up as he needs. Let's see him. One of those fastballs.
And that's going to be looped into right field. That's a base hit. Piscotty scores. Olson's going to score. And now it's 9-7.
I thought he might have gone with the fastball here to avoid this such effort from Fowler. Caught him out in front with the breaking ball. Slow coming to him. That thing's got to be bounced or better. You've got to bury this thing. It stays up. It gives Fowler the opportunity to just flick the barrel out there. You can see with 2 outs, the boys are moving.
So Piscotty and Olson score, 3 runs in, and now the tying runs are on the bases. First and third, 2 outs, and it's Ramon Laureano. Laureano is 0 for 3 with a walk. That happened back in the first inning. So 3 hits and 2 walks in the inning.
That's a good look at September baseball. You've had 3 of the center field platoon members.
Big chopper, fair ball. Ward's throw is in time. Side retired. A's get themselves back in it with 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-7 as we head to the 9th. Let's go back to the 6th inning. A little bit of controversy here, Dallas. What do you think? Piscotty, there was no fan interference call. And the lady clearly reached over. She caught it and dropped it. Piscotty, he would have had a chance to make a play on it.
And they got the early exit. And I think it's rather unfortunate for everybody involved, if I'm being honest, Kite. Like to think that Piscotty had an opportunity to make a play on that ball.
What happened then? That was on the Simmons at bat. Simmons then got a base hit, then knocked in 2, and 2 batters after that. Howard hit a grand slam. So, I mean, somewhat of a controversial play. It was right in the middle of what turned out to be a 6-run 6th inning for the Angels. So I think it does come into play a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's, I think it's easy to kind of go back and pick points in the game where you feel like if the ball bounces your way, things might be a little different.
It's great when we do that, isn't it? If this, and this would have happened.
I've just got a few things.
Bo Taylor is the new catcher. So Taylor catching Fernando Rodney. Fernando Rodney is the 8th pitcher in the game for the A's. And he gets Cole Calhoun. Cole Calhoun is 0 for 5. So 15 total pitchers used tonight. 8 by the A's, 7 by the Angels.
Number 20, Jose Fernandez.
And here's Jose Fernandez. Everything is final around Major League Baseball. The Red Sox and the Indians are the 2 teams that are officially in. Just looking around the rest. Atlanta lost tonight. The Phillies won. So the Phillies actually pick up a game that they're still 5.5 back. The Cubs won. The Brewers lost. So the Cubbies are rolling. They now have a 3.5 game lead in that National League Central. Cubs with the best record in the National League. And the Dodgers got a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th inning. They beat the Rockies again. And so the Dodgers now with a 1.5 lead over Colorado in the West.
Kind of feels like the Dodgers might be surging.
Yeah.
Got a gutsy performance from the big lefty tonight, Clayton Kershaw.
Pitch. And right back to Rodney. If Fernandez didn't hit that ball, it would have hit him.
What?
So
Now batting.
it was a little inside.
Mike Trout.
Yeah, I guess you could say he pulled the hands in.
So 2 away for Trout, who's 1 for 4 with a home run. So the A's will try to come back and win this in the bottom of the 9th inning. And it looks like Trout went around, tried to hold up. You don't see Mike Trout break down on his swing very often.
No, and I think it's more about Mike Trout probably guessing. Sitting on a fastball. That's what makes Rodney's changeup so devastating, is he's got the same arm speed on both.
And then Trout probably bounces a single into left field. So he's 2 for 5, and that's hit number 9 for the Angels.
Now batting.
See a fastball working down. Bo Taylor's reaching back across his body. This thing starts more middle.
So with 2 outs, Trout aboard, here's Upton. Upton's walked in single. So this will be the 4th consecutive year that the Angels will miss the postseason. That does not sit well with Artie Moreno, their owner.
No.
Because he's not afraid to spend money. He'll do what he thinks he has to do. The Angels have a payroll of $171 million, and that's 6th highest in all of baseball. But they are also heading for their 3rd consecutive non-winning season, although that could change this year. They're 74-76. Last year they were 80-82.
And on the whole, you have to think it has to be a very anticlimactic season, not only ending to the season, but overall.
And there was some significant expectations for the Angels this year. And you know what? When I looked at their team, I liked them. I thought it's like this has a chance to be really good.
Yep.
But again, injuries hit them like they've done for 3 years in a row now.
And that's the biggest key. Haven't been able to stay healthy.
Trout runs on 1-1, and he is going to make it with a stolen base. So Trout gets his 24th stolen base.
Not a bad job of catch and throw from Bo Taylor. This is just more so on Rodney. Sees Trout slide to the outside part of the bag. Just ahead of the tag.
So 24 steals for Trout. Had 22 last year. Remember his rookie year when he came up in 2012. He played in 139 games. He had 49 steals.
Right.
He led the league.
And for a while, I thought we legitimately had a 40-40 threat on our hands.
The next year he stole 33, but he's tapered off some since then. Two to Justin Upton. And now 3-2.
Well, I think as Trout's career has continued to progress, you've seen him and the Angels develop him into a certain type of player. You don't see him lay out much on the defensive side of the baseball. More valuable at the plate than head first into second or third or laying out on the warning track.
3-2 pitch, and that's there at the knee. Strike 3 call. Looks like a pretty good pitch from Fernando Rodney. Last shot for the A's. They're down by 2. Mark Canha was excited, as he should be. He had a 3-run double. That was back in the 4th inning, and things were good. But now it's 9-7, the Angels lead. So Matt Chapman's going to lead it off. Chapman, Lowry, Davis, and hopefully more. Jeffrey Marte is the new first baseman. Ty Buttrey back out there. Buttrey faced 3 hitters in the 8th inning. He got 2 outs. He also gave up the 2-run single to Fowler.
Seen good stuff from the big righty. Good velocity, good changeup.
Matt Chapman tonight is 0 for 4. So trying to get aboard. The pitch is high, 2-1.
Continue to exercise the patience.
Well, they've done that tonight. 7 walks the A's have received. Didn't do it there, chased it.
Again, a man on represents tying run at the plate.
And that one well outside in the dirt. Full count.
Time now for the Chrysler drive of the game. That man right there, Dustin Fowler. Reach out, get you a little knock, huh? A little 2-hour love.
Roll foul, breaking ball on 3-2, 81 miles an hour. So another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Foul back, fastball running in on Chapman. Buttrey came to the Angels in the Ian Kinsler trade. It's on July 30th. Strike 3 call. The A's have now struck out 10 times.
Well, again, another big righty creating good downhill angle. Buttrey with 96 on the inside part of the plate.
So what does this tell you, Dallas? A's have struck out 10 times tonight. The last 5 have been looking. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. And 6
total, yeah.
Total. Tells me that there's some deception, and you might just be 1 pitch behind if you're guessing.
You're guessing the sequence maybe.
Right, you're just 1 pitch behind, or maybe you've been caught in the middle of a double up that you didn't expect. I think it's safe to say some calls have gone the way of the Angels at times. But we know that's the game of baseball.
One to Lowry, who has walked 3 times. It's hit hard on 1 hop right to Coward. Coward straightens up and throws to first. So 2 away, and it's up to Chris Davis to get aboard.
Now batting designated hitters, to Chris Davis.
So Chris Davis has 1 hit tonight. He's 1 for 4. Remember, A's Post Game Live coming up after the ball game, and we will be back with you tomorrow night. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Day game on Thursday, and the Twins come in for the weekend. If the A's do not come back and win this game, the magic number will stay at 7 again. It's been at 7 for 3 consecutive days.
Still work to be done.
So 1-2 to KD. High fastball, 99 miles an hour, and that's the ball game. So the Angels come to the Coliseum and they take game 1 of this series from the Athletics, and the A's magic number stays at 7. A's have now lost 4 out of their last 5, so they'll try to get it going tomorrow night in game 2 of the series. Time of game was 3 hours and 42 minutes in front of 15,031. Final score tonight from the Coliseum: the Angels 9 and the A's 7. Time now to go to Brody Brazil and the rest of the gang in the A's post-game live studios.